All right, let's talk about something you use literally every single day. Every time you click, or type, or swipe, there's an invisible force making it all happen. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the most important piece of software on your device, the operating system. Let's dive in.
It's a great question, right? This software, it just sits there between you and this box of electronics. And somehow, it magically turns your commands into action. So what is it really doing behind the scenes? Let's find out.
You know, the best way to think about the OS is as the ultimate middle manager. You tell it, hey, open this file, and it translates that request into a language the hardware actually understands. It's managing everything, the processor, the memory, the storage, just making sure all your apps play nicely together. Without it, your computer would just be a very, very expensive paperweight. And this really breaks down that manager job. The OS, yeah, it gives you the pretty interface you see, but its real power is managing all those resources. I mean, can you imagine if every single app had to fight for the computer's brain, the CPU, all on its own? It would be pure chaos. It would be incredibly inefficient. So, if the OS is the manager, then the kernel is its central nervous system. It's one of the very first things to load up when you press that power button, and because of that, it has complete control. From managing your memory to translating your clicks into hardware instructions, literally everything has to flow through the kernel. And here's the thing. Not all operating systems are created equal. They're super specialized. A desktop OS like Windows or Mac OS, that's built for you, the individual user, to get your work done. A mobile OS like Android or iOS, on the other hand, is all about touchscreens and making that battery last. And a server OS, well, that's a whole different beast, a powerhouse built for rock-solid security and handling requests from hundreds, maybe even thousands of users at once. Okay, so we get what an OS does, but how do you actually take a brand new box of computer parts and, well, give it a brain? That all happens during the installation process. So the whole process kicks off by booting the machine from an installer, which these days is usually a USB drive. Then you have to partition the hard drive, that's basically telling the OS where it's going to live, before the system copies over all of its essential files. And finally, you go through that initial setup, creating your user account. Honestly, this is the exact moment a machine truly comes to life.
But hold on. The job isn't done just because that progress bar hits 100%. These first steps right after installation are absolutely critical for security. It is vital to get connected to the network to download the latest security patches, make sure the firewall is on, and most importantly, create strong passwords and change any default admin passwords. These aren't just suggestions, people. They are essential.
Now, for most of us, the operating system is all about Windows, icons, maybe a mouse pointer. But for IT technicians and power users, there's this whole other world hiding just beneath the surface. We're talking a set of secret tools for direct, powerful control. And this is it, the command line. Whether you call it command prompt in Windows or terminal in Linux, this is where you can speak directly to the OS, no graphical interface needed. I know, it might look a little old school, but it is incredibly powerful for diagnostics, for automation, for system management. It is a technician's absolute best friend. And with just a few simple commands, you get immense power. ipconfig gives you a full detailed network report. Ping is kind of like a sonar pulse. You can send it to another computer to see if it's online. sfc/scan-now, oh man, this one is a lifesaver. It finds and fixes corrupt system files. You can even use a command to pull the computer's serial number right from the motherboard. Now that is direct control. The other secret weapon? The system logs. Think of it as the OS's personal diary. Every single time someone logs in, or an application crashes, or some security event happens, it gets written down. So when something goes wrong, these logs are the very first place a technician looks to find the root cause. It's like leaving a breadcrumb trail to the source of the problem. You know, all of this leads us to the most important topic of all, security. Because the OS controls everything. Securing it is like locking the front door to your entire digital life. And in today's world, that's not just a technician's job anymore, it's everyone's responsibility. I just love this quote because it's funny, it's memorable, and it's absolutely true. Good password hygiene is your first line of defense. A simple, strong, and unique password, or even better, a passphrase made of, say, 3 simple words, is a massive step towards securing your account.
And the stakes here? They couldn't be higher. Why? Because security experts detect this many new pieces of malware every single day. Your operating system is under constant assault from automated attacks, and we have to build our defenses to match.
So how do we fight back? It's called device hardening, and it follows a few key principles. Use strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. Keep that firewall on. Set your OS and your apps to update automatically. But that first point, that's one of the most powerful and overlooked security tips of all. This is the principle of least privilege. All it means is you should not be using an administrator account for your day-to-day web browsing and email. Just create a standard user account for your daily work. So why is this a big deal? Well, because if that account ever gets compromised, the attacker's power is seriously limited. They can't just install malicious software or change critical system settings. It's such a simple change that dramatically reduces your risk. But, at the end of the day, technology can only do so much. The strongest security systems in the world can be bypassed if a person is tricked into handing over the keys. That's why you have to be the human firewall. Just remember your ABCs. Accept nothing, believe no one, and challenge everything. Be skeptical of those random emails and messages. Your security is only as strong as its weakest link. So please remember this. Your operating system isn't just another piece of software. It's the very foundation of your digital world, it's the gatekeeper to all your data, and it's your first line of defense. So the only question left to ask is, have you checked its locks recently?